What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk. It's been a minute. So,
Yes, it
how was your
has.
Thanksgiving, though?
I was good, man. Spending with family and then my girlfriend right after. It's good
That's cool.
times. Yeah, very relaxing. How's yours?
It was good, man. Relaxing. Some family came, so it was fun. It was nice to see them.
Yep,
But
yep.
we have a lot to get to. Uh, First topic: Ben Simmons is broke. Apparently, could this force him to come back to the Sixers and play basketball again? This one should be interesting for you. Should the Lakers fire Frank Vogel? We'll
Yes.
see.
Uh,
We'll see how that goes. And then topic three, could Andrew Wiggins get an all-star nod? I think that's gonna be fun. And the last topic, honestly, I just want to hear what you think. What's the main issue for the Lakers? So we'll get to that for sure. So on the first topic, Ben Simmons is reportedly broke. Now, I don't know if it's broke like you and me. We don't have a lot of money, or broke in terms
Facts.
of like 100K, 200K. Um, I looked up the fines, total fines. It's $2 million as of November 5th. And for a guy that has made 89 million throughout his career in terms of just NBA contracts, where's the other 87 million? Like that's concerning if he's blowing through money that quickly. Um, and that also doesn't count for his outside earnings, like everything from endorsements and everything like that. So where is all of his money going? Uh, it's just like, how the hell could you spend that much money that quickly? And we've been in COVID for 2 years now. He hasn't played in what, a season? No,
hmm
less than that, like half a season, maybe you would say, off season plus like 20 games. What has he been doing? Apparently, he loves to buy cars. Like, we know he loves cars.
hmm
Apparently, he's buying one every month. And cars get very expensive, so maybe that's why he's going broke. But at the end of the day, do you think this is going to force him to play because he's being fined and because he's going to go broke if he doesn't? Or do you think he just finds a way to make more money on the side?
Man, you know what? I like how you raised the question of what did he do for the other 87 million that he got, right? And to me, it's surprising because obviously we don't know his personal spending habits and his family well. But from what I remember, he has a pretty good support system, especially with his sister, who is good at managing. I believe his sister is works in that field. Maybe not his manager, but it's just it's surprising because a lot of these NBA guys like they love to buy a lot of stuff and they love to spend on things. Some do, some like to spend stuff on women, some like to get shoes, clothes, all that stuff. Ben Simmons' cars. I mean, we love cars. If we were rich, we would get the nicest cars too, right? But it's just not practical. And to answer your question, like um, I think he's not broke, but it's just the fact that it's raising to an amount where it's kind of ridiculous. Like he's thinking to himself, like, wow, like a whole season, like, can I do this? Because eventually, like, it is gonna run out. And like you said, Spence, like there's a lot of endorsements that you have to factor in. I mean, he signed with Nike. Did Nike terminate that contract? Or for example, I mean, he's an Aussie, so I'm pretty sure he has some Australian endorsements that you have to consider as well. And with cars, like he loves cars, so maybe he has a sponsorship with a car. Like we don't know, but it's just crazy because this guy is a perennial all star, and he's hopefully not on the verge of not having any money. And unfortunately, that comes with the fame. Not everybody's equipped with handling money. Um, so I think it's getting to him. I think it's getting to him. It has that mentality because I'm sure he has a saving and all that stuff. But like you said, we've been in quarantine, and like many people like myself who have been buying shorts like crazy, that EDD money. I can't even imagine what these guys, you know what I mean? If they can't hoop, um, online shop, right? But hopefully that's not the case. But it is looking bad for him because I don't care who you are. Um, these fines are going to pile up, and essentially you're giving the NBA free money, in my opinion, when you can just play. But so Ben Simmons, stop playing and just play. Give me the money. Give me the money.
And I think the crazy thing is like, would you rather just sit around and like I guess work out and do nothing,
Yeah.
or would you rather just go and compete for a championship? Like the Sixers are not a bad team.
They're not.
They've been pretty solid without Embiid recently, and then on top of that, Seth Curry has looked really good. So I'm not too sure. Is it more difficult to just like face the people you've kind of like annoyed or like hurt throughout this,
Yeah.
or is he just does he really just not care? You know. And then I think how is he going to return? Like, is he going to return to be Ben Simmons, or is he going to return as a lazy Ben Simmons who just kind of like lethargically goes through practice? Right.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. It's like this whole thing is just amounting to be one stupid outcome. Something stupid's going to come out of this, and I think it's already getting worse and worse as we continue on hearing about everything that goes on. And like,
Yeah.
if I'm Ben Simmons right now, who's leaking all of this information about me going broke? And
Yeah.
like all of these
Yeah.
things, and it's like, are people on your team just turning their back? Like, I don't know. Because I'm assuming if he's not getting paid, maybe his team's not getting paid. Maybe they're frustrated about that. So
Somebody snitching.
hey, it kind of seems like it because every
Yeah.
week we have a new rumor. And
Yeah.
like I know we said I don't want to like I personally don't want to talk about Ben Simmons anymore, but when it's something like
Yeah.
this where like it's something
Hmm.
new,
Agreed.
gotta talk about it, especially him going broke. Like that's just it's crazy to think about that. I, I
Hmm.
I agree. I don't think he's actually going broke. I think it's more of the idea of being fined every what month, 200, 300,000.
Yeah. It's gonna
It's
pile up, man.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
gonna pile up. There's just no way. But on to the Lakers. They won last night. They beat the Pistons by what, 4 points? That's a good win. should
Yeah.
should the Lakers fire Frank Vogel? What do
Oh,
you think?
easily. Easily. You know what? My thoughts on it are, I wouldn't say biased, but because, you know, he does have injuries to work with, but what team doesn't, right? He does have injuries to work with, but he just hasn't figured out the rotations. And that's the most annoying thing ever. Frank Vogel is known to be a defensive minded coach. So I ask every Laker fan that I discuss this with, how do you go from the first ranked defense, or not first, but top five, to damn near dead last? That's so surprising to me. And this is coming from a team where you had people like Trez, who people were saying was a problem defensively, right? Mark Gasol, who was old, right? And we got guys that can compete now, um, except Malik Monk. You know, I loved him. I loved the pickup, but dude just can't play defense. Microwave, but he can't play defense. But it's crazy. You know, the rotations is just, it's so frustrating. And at this point, I'm just tired of it, man. Like as you said last night, they were able to get a win. Wow, congrats. But they were up 16, man, or 19, 17-0 run in the third. I was like, wow, we're gonna get a quality win. And you know what? Pistons came back, and it's crazy. You know, as a coach, the average game right now that teams have played is what, 20, 21 games already so far in the season. So he's had time to figure it out. And I know injuries have been annoying, but like I said, what team has it? So I think it's time to move on from Frank. Um, Fizz is next up, and he has a great, and I mean great, relationship with Braun. And I think Braun, like I hate to say it, but I think Braun's just waiting for him to get out too, because you could see, like, you know, when he's going to the bench, like, all right, I can chill now, you know, and the team gives it the lead, and it's just like shit, like I got to go back in, and it's concerning because, you know, outside looking in, if you didn't watch the game, you look at Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD stats, and you're like, wow, they went crazy. And then you're like, who they play? The Pistons. How much they
Yeah.
win by? 4. You know? So it's like, it's concerning. But yeah, Frank, I'm sorry. No disrespect to you and your family. It's just, it's that time. Like, if he hasn't figured it out by then, he won't figure it out. It's not going to get any better, in my opinion. And, you know, AD said, hey, it's time to build a 10-game winning streak. Yeah. How about we blow the lead and barely win? You know? So I personally, I just think it's time. I think it's time for him to be let go.
Yeah, I think and like to go off of what you said, the Lakers roster is different from last season, and I think that's something that needs to be said. Like Trevor Ariza hasn't played a single game. Kendrick Nunn hasn't played a single game. LeBron has been hurt for a majority of the season so far, I believe. And like looking over their past 10 games, they're 4-6, 2 wins against the Pistons. Not great wins, a 5-point win and a 4-point win. And then your losses are to, I believe, 4 playoff teams. And it's just not a good look for the Lakers, especially that Kings game, which they had it in the bag. Well, no, they didn't have it in the bag. Actually, both teams struggled the entire night. And the Lakers just got too tired, I guess. I mean, triple overtime, that's, of course, someone's going to get tired, but the Lakers have a lot of players that they just can't play right now. Wayne Ellington is really bad on defense and a decent shooter at best. Kent Bazemore, as much as I love to hate on him,
I'm kidding.
he is so bad. I think I saw that he's shooting like 17% or something like that. He's just so bad on both 3 and field goal percentage.
He's not playing anymore, so thank God.
Yeah. And it's just like you have these guys piling up. You're like, okay, we can't play him. Okay, we can't play him. Even Rondo isn't even playing anymore.
I know.
And so you have 3-4 guys in the end of the bench you can't play. And then you have 2-3 guys that are hurt. So it's getting to the point where who can you play, right?
Yeah.
And I that's not on Frank Vogel, but at the same time, Frank Vogel was the guy playing Rondo and Westbrook together.
Exactly.
And it doesn't take an idiot to see like you can't play them together. So I'm just like, I'm not sure why, like what took so long, but eventually he stopped playing them together and he found out, oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because you can't. Frank Vogel is a good coach. He's a good defensive coach. He coached the really good Pacers back in the day. Obviously, did a great job with the Lakers back when they won. But, man, they do not look good this season. And you have to, like, really take a look at it because the Lakers are kind of in that position where they can come back from a, 10 and 11 start, but you can also really fuck up your season by letting it go on. And I think going to David Fizdale, I think he'd be a good fit. He's a good player coach. He's been a good coach. He's been a head coach for a long time. So I think that'd be a good fit. But I do think Frank Vogel should be fired. Unfortunately, it's just gotten to that point where it seems like the team has kind of lost faith in him, you know?
Agreed.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think he gets fired anytime soon, but they need some kind of kick in the butt because the Lakers just don't look good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hope they make a move or do you hope that they stand pat?
I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move. I just don't want to get rid of some guys. I'll name them right now. I don't want THT to be moved, even though he's been playing awful. I don't want Melo because I want Melo to get one. I want Melo to get one more than anybody on this team. Like, forget everybody else. As if everybody knows I'm a Lakers fan, but I am not a LeBron fan in any shape or form. I have to root for him. I'm forced to root for him because he's on my team. I am a big Kobe guy, for those who don't know. AD, softest 75 player ever. I saw this interesting slander about him, and I think it's the absolute truth. He won a ring and started chilling, like big time. And so I don't want any moves to be made because I want to win with what we have. This is what we were given, but I also would not be surprised. A lot of THT links to Jeremy Grant. We don't need another wing, and the GM is probably going to do something. You know what I mean? He's probably going to do something, and it's going to piss me off, but it's what I was given, and I don't like how they talk about Trevor Ariza like he's the savior. Like Trevor Ariza, we're not in 09, man. Like a lot of Lakers, like, oh, we don't have Trevor Ariza, this and that. I'm like, dude, it's not '09. Like,
Dude's like 37 years
yeah,
old.
I
Hasn't
know.
played
Like,
decent minutes in forever.
yeah, I mean, even when he was with Miami, like he didn't put up crazy numbers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would understand if they talked a little bit like that about Kendrick Nunn, because Kendrick Nunn, new face, new system, and he can thrive. You know, but I don't like how they talk. No disrespect to Trevor Ariza, I love him and what he did for the team in '09, but it's just they talk about him like he's a savior, and oh, like wait till we get all like key guys back. All right, maybe things will change, but yeah, I'm not surprised if they make a move. I hope they don't. Like I said, no matter what happens, whatever move they make, um, THT, Melo, and also, Dwight and Rondo. I want them to stay as well. But I don't want them to. I really don't. But I know LeBron's gonna, take the easy way out and try to get somebody in here. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I think if they do make a move, THT has to be the one to go because he's the
that's
only kind of like trade piece.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't like the idea of them trading for Jeremy Grant because that helps nothing. Because I
yep,
don't think you can't really trust Jeremy Grant because he hasn't really put up good numbers on a really good team yet. So
mm-hmm.
maybe like a Jalen Brunson. If the Mavs kind of like fall off, Jalen Brunson would be a good like 2 guard fit
Yeah,
next to Westbrook, but it's gonna be tough.
yep,
But going on to my guy Andrew Wiggins, he has looked great, and he has
yeah,
definitely proved me wrong because I know I talked some shit about him. I know I put him in a lot of trade rumors.
yeah,
But man, I think he deserves the All-Star nod this season. He has been ridiculously good over these past 7 games. I think he's averaging like 24, 25 points a game.
mm-hmm.
In this season, he's actually tied for third among Western Conference small forwards at 49.7% from the field. He's tied for third with Harrison Barnes in the Western Conference for most points as a small forward at 19 points. And he's been great on defense. In terms of small forward, I don't think they count LeBron anymore because I think he counts as a point guard. So, hey, more places for Andrew Wiggins to fit in, baby. I think a lot of people still consider him a bust. I don't think it's hard to consider him a bust because he's put up really good numbers, just never to the Michael Jordan comparison, the
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James comparison.
Yeah,
He was just put in unfortunate situations. But, he's been really good for the Warriors on this 7-game win streak. And I'm excited because Wiggins finally looks like someone that we can kind of build with. He's driving to the rim. He's hitting threes. He's playing defense. He's playing really well.
mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to he should get the All-Star nod. Will he get the All-Star nod? I'm not sure, but he'd be a fun player to have. He's a super bouncy, can shoot a little, but he shows no emotion, so I'm not sure how much fun he would have. But do you think Andrew Wiggins would be an All-Star?
I definitely think he has a case, but I think because of the politics of the NBA, he might not get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, LeBron's no longer considered a small forward for some reason. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts at guard spot along with Steph. Obviously, Steph and Bron are probably going to fill that role.
Yeah.
But I think definitely like he deserves some recognition because of what he's had to overcome from his season with the Warriors last season, right? So he stepped up big time. I think a play that comes into mind is just or not play, but multiple plays of him just shooting well. Um, I know a lot of you, not just you, Spence, a lot of Warrior fans are just begging for him to make some shots, and he's doing that now. So it's good for you guys, and also like you said, he's just super bouncy. Like yesterday, when he grabbed that board, his head was like at the rim. Like that was insane,
Yeah.
And he didn't even use, I don't know what's his name, whatever the guy's name is. He didn't even use him as a boost. He just grabbed the board, which is crazy. But I will say that he deserves it because I think looking back at what he's done this season with Clay not playing and they don't have a legit. Well, they were implementing Otto Porter Jr. to the system. Andre Iguodala was coming back. I think he's the most solid option at the three. So, and he's helping the team win. So and he's putting up the numbers. So that's what you need, like when you're looking for an all-star. I think he might be overlooked, especially when Clay comes back. And I honestly would not be surprised, but yeah, he definitely deserves it. He's been putting up the numbers, and like you said, he's not building up to the hype of when he was in Kansas, comparing him to the next, you know, MJ or Canadian Kobe. I don't know, putting him in some big shoes to fill in Kansas, but yeah, man, Andrew Wiggins deserves it. He deserves to be at least recognized, consideration. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be voting for Andrew Wiggins. I know you're going to vote for him because I know you're a big Warriors fan. So we'll definitely hope that he gets in there. But on the last topic, from a Lakers fan's perspective, what is the main issue with the Lakers right now?
Frank Vogel. Nah. You know what? It's defense. Defense. There's no other way to put it. Defensive-minded coach, team can't play defense. So rotations comes next, but defense is definitely the one. Just haven't been able to come together and get it going. Like I said, that third quarter when they were locked in against the Pistons, I know they were locked in defensively. It was beautiful. Look what they can do when they put their minds into it and actually play together as a team. Defense is the biggest thing. I have three things: defense, rotation, and ball movement. Got a lot of guys that don't like to share the ball, including Uncle Mello. But you know what? Offense is the name of the game, right? But yeah, so I would definitely say defense is our biggest issue. Can't close quarters, can't close games, can't hold leads. It's ridiculous. And if you really want me to nitpick, AD, softest superstar in the face of this earth, man. Like, I hate it so much. I have to root for these guys, bro. Like I said, I'm going to remind the people once again who are watching. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but AD and Bron, I am not a fan. That's why every time I post it on my story, it's either THT or Mellow. If I post LeBron, it's because the score of the game was there. That's all it is. But yeah, man, defensively, we are atrocious, terrible. So yeah.
And that's the weird thing is, like, I didn't think this team's problem was going to be defense. Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the league. Dwight Howard is still really good. Melo is decent. Bazemore actually was a really good defender with the Warriors. He's not anymore. Westbrook is regarded as a good defender. LeBron, obviously one of the better defenders. Maybe not now, but in his prime, he was one of the best defenders. And this is a terrible defensive squad. I think LeBron, in his age now, is very lazy on defense.
Definitely.
If one of his teammates gets blown by, he'll just look at his teammate and be like, why'd you let him do that? Instead of helping out. Westbrook loves to gamble.
Loves to gamble.
And it doesn't matter if it ends up in a steal or not. He's going to jog back on offense like nothing happened. And it's really bad. Like you said, Anthony Davis is one of the softest stars. His new nickname, A Disney. So, hey, man, like the Lakers just look like they're a bunch of pieces thrown together and they're just not fitting well. And I think another thing, I think I read that Anthony Davis is the worst shooter in the NBA.
I would not be surprised at all.
17% from three now, something like that. And I think I saw a stat where they said he is the worst shooter. And like, I think, they said TJ Warren was the bubble guy, but I think Anthony Davis has become the bubble guy. His jumper is garbage now. Doesn't matter where it's from. Everything is gone for him other than his post, which is crazy because like he actually had a decent mid-range going into when he was coming to the Lakers. So I'm not sure what happened. I think maybe it's like you said, he got soft and like he just doesn't care now.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he looks really bad on the
Yeah.
offensive end.
Yeah.
And like he's still putting up good numbers at like 20, 24 points a game, but he's not mixing it up. And I think eventually when you get to a team like the Warriors or like the Suns who can put bigger guys on them, uh, it's just going to be difficult for the Lakers to ever compete if he doesn't have a jumper.
No, I definitely agree. And you know what? Like teams are not scared of the Lakers like they used to be.
Yeah.
Like they look at like in my non-biased opinion, the Laker announcers, they're my favorite announcers all of the NBA, besides Mike Breen, because they're non-biased. And I love what they said yesterday. When when the Lakers hold a lead over specific teams, the other team isn't scared. And I love that because they're talking about the Lakers, not talking about the other team, talking about the Lakers. When the Lakers hold a specific lead over other teams, the other team isn't scared. They're not like, damn, man, we're down. They're like, oh, we're down. Oh, we've seen this before. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, they're encouraged, not discouraged, right? But the only thing that's keeping me afloat is that meme of Westbrook. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? All the way to it's the greatest player in the face of this earth. We're almost there. We're almost there, man. And Russ has actually been playing better as of late. Turnovers are still there, and I saw this stat. I think it was StatMuse or somebody else that tweeted it. When Westbrook has 3 or fewer turnovers, the Lakers have not lost, or they have not lost any games like that. And you know what? Like Westbrook just got to stop throwing passes with blinders on, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think he the pass is there, but his brain is still over here or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and I can't. People talk to me about the GOAT, LeBron, all that stuff. I just can't put him there, bro. Like the guy cannot shoot free throws. He can't shoot. You know what I mean? And so, there's no way I'm putting LeBron over MJ and Kobe. The guy can't even shoot free throws. Can't even, you know what I mean? Like, yes, he can lead a team, but that's not the GOAT, man. And like I said, AD, like somebody robbed that fool. He was in Space Jam, and look what happened. Somebody
Yeah.
robbed his powers. Can't shoot free throw to save his life. He got some nerve stepping up to the line when somebody gets teed up. You know what I mean? Like you shooting the free throw, like So yeah, you're right. I don't take it personal when people. I only take it personal from one person, that. But I don't take it personal when people talk about the bubble, all that stuff, because a Disney is just right for him. You know what I mean? Like that it looks like a fluke. It looks like a fluke.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, for the record, like I said, it disappeared. Can't shoot, like you said, Spence. The numbers are there. The numbers don't lie. You know. So, and it's almost like every game something's happening to him. A poked eye. he's getting chin checked. I don't know, like
Yeah.
something stupid, bro. And it's so frustrating to watch. And that's the team, though. I got to stick with them. But yeah, so Kyle Kuzma, nah, I'm just kidding. Nah.
I don't even think the Wizards aren't even playing well anymore, right? Like
Yeah.
I think they kind of have come back to earth already.
Yes.
Let me
Yes, they
check real
have.
quick before I say that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're 13-8. Not
Still
great.
better. Still better than the Lakers, though.
Yeah, that is better than the Lakers. What are they now? 11-11.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm making
Hey.
a wish. 11-11. I'm making a wish. Yeah.
Who are they playing next? Oh, the
I think,
Kings.
yeah,
Another
the
triple
Kings.
overtime.
Yeah, great.
The Kings have been playing better, so that's kind of a tough matchup.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Are we in 2001 right now? A tough matchup?
When you got the Clippers on Friday, then you go play the Celtics. That should be a win, but you never know.
Yeah.
You got the Grizzlies without
Draw.
Ja, so they have an extremely weak schedule, and I think that's another thing that we should talk about is the Lakers have had, I think, one of the worst schedules in terms of their opponent strength. They are facing one of the weakest schedules, and they're still losing games left and right.
Facts.
It's very concerning because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not playing. They're playing down to their opponent, kind of like how the Warriors used to do. So maybe they'll play up to the opponents when they get to good teams, but man, it's tough. I feel bad because
Yeah,
the Lakers should not be this bad.
they really should. And I'm saying this right now. I'm not saying this to, hopefully change the luck or, reverse psychology. They're not winning the championship. They're just not.
Yeah.
It's realistically speaking, it's not happening. Unless, Westbrook, LeBron, and AD start putting up the numbers they do, but smacking teams. It's just not happening. And like I said, I would like to take pride in myself in saying that I'm a knowledgeable and realistic fan. So like I said, it's not happening, and they should not be this awful, but they are. So here we are. When is the trade deadline? Yeah. Everybody should be asking that.
Yeah. I feel like they're gonna make some kind of move, like how the Cavs did back in the day. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens because the Lakers are in an interesting situation. They're not on the bottom of the conference yet, but they're definitely flirting with it at the ninth spot right now.
Yeah, play in, play out.
I would not want to face the Lakers in the play-ins, though. I think that's a tough matchup.
You know what? I have some OGs and some other Laker fans tell me the same thing. All they got to do, make it to the 7th seed, make it to the playoffs, and they'll be all right. As long as they're healthy, make it to the playoffs, they're good. I want to believe that just because a majority of the team is, very experienced in the playoffs. So the problem is, will they even get there? That's the problem.
I think another thing is it depends on who you face. If you're facing the Suns, that's a tough matchup. If you're facing the Warriors, that's another tough matchup.
Agreed.
If they can slide into that 6th seed, that's a little better for them. But I don't right now their ceiling, if they continue to play the way they have been, the ceiling is 7. They're not going to go much higher than 7 seed. Yeah, that's pushing. I think I could see them evening out and being like 42 and like 40 at the most.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's if they put some wins together, not just win here, win there. They need to string together wins.
Yep.
But
agreed.
I'm just not sure if they can.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for podcast 65. It felt good to be back. So thank you thank you, CJ, for coming back on.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. But check our links down in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But that's going to do it for us. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.